Right, so now onto this Grant XL, which also turned up with this with the X144, which I just did. I've hooked it up, so let's just see what goes on with it. Hopefully, it's not too bad. The description I have is it may have seen 24 volts. So I've set the controls up already. So if it's going to go, it will go. Dead. Okay, completely dead. Well, it's probably a good thing actually. If it's completely dead, that means it's probably burnt a track out. That's probably a good sign actually. If you get a dead short, there could be a protection diode, but there's no dead short. There's no signs of any life whatsoever. So it's actually probably a good sign. So let's pull this thing apart and have a look. It'd be nice to do this one cheaply. The last radio is going to cost the guy a little bit of work because it took me ages to fix all the problems with it. So hopefully this one I could do a bit cheaper for him. We'll see how it goes. I'm preempting things somewhat since I know got the cases off it yet. See how we go. I'll come back after I've got it open. Okay, I got the cases off and just had a really quick look. I literally just like 2 seconds. Now let's just see if I can show you. Let's get some more light here. This will be better. Right. I've seen straight away that these coils are burnt out in the back here. So try and get the camera on that. Not very easily, I can't. Let's just change the angles, eh? Let's do this. In fact, the coils fell off. Okay, so there's one burnt out completely. The other one's also burnt. What else has gone in here? These wires here, which were touching, have melted. And there's the end of that wire for that coil. That one there is also resting against those wires which have melted. So this is going to take a little bit of repair work, I think. Yeah, so something more serious has probably gone wrong if it's burnt all those coils out. Hopefully it's just that protection diode doing its job, but it could be more serious than that. Let's just have another cursory look around, look for holes in the parts, that kind of thing. Nothing looks too bad, everything looks okay. You can see here it's got really hot, you can see it. It's, see the appearance there is all different, you can see it's overheated. But from looking around, there is nothing else obvious. Nothing else looks like it's been overheating. There's a bit of flux here and there and the ball from factory factory work, but there's no burnt out tracks. So I think what's happened is those coils have gone and that's protected it. But all this is all burned up over here, you know, all that stuff, which is a bit awkward corner to get into. Let's get myself some more room, hold on. So these two wires which are burnt are the speaker wires, so it's not a big deal, just put new ones in. See, hopefully, see these ones here they've all been melted here as well. Hopefully there's enough slack there. It goes to a little connector unit, which is okay. If the wires are intact, I might just be able to re-insulate them without doing too much else there. But trying to see what else is burnt in here is quite hard. These ones here are looking a bit dodgy, but I think they're intact. I think it's just smoke damage on those ones. These ones here are burnt. That one's burnt here. So there's a bit of damage here. And what's this? Oh, that's really gone there. What's that one? What's that wire there? Ooh, okay, here we go, there's some more damage. Right, so you've got this wire here which is obviously really melted. Just there, and the other one here has also completely gone too and shorted out. So those two wires are a good indicator about what's gone on here. Where does that go to? It means whatever's at the other end of those wires is overheated and possibly blown, which I'm just trying to identify where that is. It's around here somewhere. It might be that one there. Jumper wire to the audio amplifier. So audio amplifier could be blown. But yeah, that wire there is just completely gone. It's cooked. And so is that one there. That one there has probably actually helped save it because that's overheated, and because it's resting against that can, which is 0 volts, it's probably shorted it out and actually blown it quicker. That may have actually helped it. That used to be a black wire. So anyway, we'll see what happens. It's a bit of a mess, but it doesn't look like it's gone right through the radio. The worst thing that could have possibly happened is if the VCO has been damaged. That's the VCO right there. Every other part I've got. VCO, no, can't get them. I've got a few, but I don't think that there's a version. But every other part in here I have a stock of, like the regulator there, audio amps, finals, that mixer. I've got everything. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully it's limited to this area here. But I need to obviously replace all these wires and that bit and fix all that mess up in there. Let's see what else is possibly burnt in here. I mean that coil's there, it's falling out anyway. That's coming out. So got these wires there, which that's a speaker. I stuffed up the speaker jacks as well. They're gone too. They're destroyed. That could be a problem. I have to see if I've got some spares. I'm not sure I have. And there's some capacitors right there, which probably smoke damage. I probably should replace them anyway. But yeah, I haven't seen one like this before. This is the first. But hey, it happens. Right, so I've determined that there's a short circuit on the input where the wiring comes into the board, so it's probably just a protection diode. There's no short circuit after that, so what I'm going to try doing, well, after the volume switch, on-off switch, if I leave that off, that's isolating the input circuitry from the actual radio circuitry. So what I can do in theory is power it up. Now I'll retrace the power wire, well, from the other side of the switch, which comes back, so it provides power to the radio, to there, that pad just there. So if I hook onto that, I've got my power supply already on, so I'll stick that on there, and let's stick this onto a earth point, which probably isn't going to work on that. I'll need a better one than that. Here we go. Right, hopefully make sure this isn't going to short out anything. Anyway, the radio has power, as you can see. This is current limiting. I've got it set at 100 milliamps current, and it's dropped the voltage down to nearly 6 volts, so let's give it some more current. Okay, that's 400 milliamps, and the radio is alive. At least the display is working. If anything else works, I don't know. I've got an antenna hooked up, so I could plug a mic in and see what happens there. Let's have a look. Let's see if it actually is okay or not, because that will determine how far I'll go with this repair. I'm going to need some more current. Let's give it 1 amp. Should still limit. And it goes and transmit. It still works. Let's go 2 amps in. Okay, that's not current limiting. It's drawing 1.5 amps on transmit. 1, 2. And it does transmit. Just like the meter doesn't work. Probably stuck. We'll see, but yeah. It's doing 2.5 watts and it's got audio, so okay. Does receive with the meter? No. So I can't tell if receive work because the socket's all destroyed, so I can't plug a speaker in or anything like that, but the transmit works. So that means at least 80% of the radio is functioning, which is a really good sign. So I just got to fix up all that input circuitry, and this can then be recovered by the looks of things. So it will live again. So I started sorting out all this burnt out stuff in here. I've cut some wires out already, and I'm probably about a third of the way through, I suppose. And I'm just starting working on these other bigger wires, which I've taken one off. Well, this actually fell off when I pulled on it, which comes over here. But this trace is lifting off just there. I'll get a better shot. This it's lifting, and it's actually flapping around a little bit. So I've already given it a bit of a scrape up, and see it's bending there. So I've scraped up over here, and I'm going to hopefully get a big blob of solder on here to hold it all together, and we'll see how we go from there. I might have to bend the wire right over and go to this pad just there to try and get it better. So I thought I'd just record that bit and show you. Hopefully we'll be alright. I mean, this is quite a mess in here. There's lots of brown parts which are not meant to be brown or black. Okay, so cool, I went through the pad. It's at least done that. So we'll see how we go with that, if it was okay or not. Problem is, once you lift the pad off, then it's pretty bad, really. So a nice big blob there. So it should be nice and strong. Going on to the bit of trace, which is okay. Pushing it around a little bit. Yeah, it's not flexing. That's right. Right. So hopefully you saw that on the camera. I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, it's just like you can see the status wire. Look, this is completely burnt out. It's incredible. And this wire here, which is the partner wire to it. I mean, that's a black wire, and I'm replacing it with a brown. And was, yeah, you know, so what? I'll put that on there. So yeah, it's quite a bit of work this, but I think it's going to be successful. Alright, so I just took out this capacitor here, which is C138. Yeah, I can't read the value on that. You can kind of see it's something there. Can't make it out. So I'm going to have to refer to the circuit diagram. I mean, this is all burnt. I can't actually get the charcoal off it. So I have to look at the circuit diagram and find out what the hell that is. Okay, so it's a 4.7 NF, so it's a 472 is a replacement part. So I shall drop that in, and I'm sure this won't be the last one I have to figure out. Alright, so there's a couple of diodes down here right by all this stuff which got hot. They look okay, but visually, so I'm just going to just quickly test them. So it's D73 and D45, which are just there. I'll just replace that capacitor there, which was one which was all black. This is D73. Looks okay that way. That way, 0.17. It's a bit low. Might be okay though, depends on the diode. And 45 is showing 0.17 as well in the opposite direction. So yeah, I think they're probably okay. Yeah, they're probably right. Both match the same. But there is a bunch of parts in here which I do have to replace. I've obviously redone these wires, but there's a capacitor right there which is definitely going to be stuffed. That diode there I believe is blown. It's a protection diode. And there's a capacitors inside there as well in this gap just here, which are also blown. Let's move that away. Hopefully you can see them just in there. There's some caps, they're all black, and these sockets have melted. and so the sockets in here are both melted. They're just falling apart. So that's all got really hot. Those sockets are stuffed. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about those yet. I'm going to see if I've got any spares in my parts bin. Right, so here's the pile of parts which I cut out and replaced. So I put some new inductors in there, or chokes, on the DC side, and those sockets, the external speaker socket was actually acceptably okay. I pulled it out, I pulled both the sockets out and gave them a clean up, and actually okay, this one's okay. The PA socket is damaged, but it doesn't matter because it's actually on the switch contact, which it doesn't even use. So I've given that a clean as well and put that back in too, so they'll both still work. I don't have anything which is suitable to actually fit there to replace it with, unfortunately. So, you know, that'll have to do. But now I've sort of cleaned this board up here and plug it in and try it. In theory, it should work now. Right, so I've hooked up power, an antenna. Let's plug a mic in. Let's see what happens. Mic going up, scratch down, IF going up. No way doesn't matter. SRF, AM, clarifier centered, bright, high, tone, CB, noise blanket on, turn it on, and we have life. Dimming works. The signal meter bulb appears to be gone. It is transmitting. Signal meter isn't working. So that's just like what I had before when I bypassed everything. So that's using the input power socket on the back. So I've repaired all that circuitry on the back there. So that's working again. So now I just need to do things like get the signal meter to work. I'm not quite sure what the story is there. Let's have a look. Let's clip on and see if the meter is actually getting any power. That's the first thing. If there's no signal going to it, then there's some other issue somewhere. But if there is a signal going to it, then the meter's stuffed. So let's just rule that part out. Right. Well, there's 0.1 volt going to it. I guess that'd be about right. I don't know, I've never actually measured the voltage on a meter before, never really bothered. But there's a voltage going to it, so it's probably okay. So it's probably the meter which is what's wrong there. It's probably stuck. So let's can't quite get to that screw, that's a pain. I'll have to take the front panel off. How do I get to that? Yeah, it's held in from the front. I'll take the whole front off to get to that. Let's get to the bottom. Oh, I can get to the bottom instead. Cool, that'll do. Right, I'll turn this off. There's power wiring and lots of stuff that's down there I've got to go through. Just get to it, just there. See? Just see the screw right there. So hopefully I can do it that way. So I'll come back after I've had a play with it and see if it frees up or not. Okay, so I just got a screwdriver in. I just turned it a little bit and the meter is moving with the screwdriver. So yeah, sure enough, the meter is stuck. There we go. That's free now. That's bouncing when I come this way. I think that's now freed. Let's try that. It moved. Yep, there we go. It's now working. Right, so usual trick. All good. So this needs a new meter bulb, which I can get to quite easily. And then I'll look at the alignment side and check the receiver out and see if there's any other damage been done. Hopefully not. Okay, so there we go. Radio is back together again. We're ready to go. And we're working. 1, 2, get on our channel. 1, 2. That's a bit noisy. But yeah, it's all going. So it's all receiving, the internal speaker's working. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds fine. So one more radio fixed instead of being put into a junk bin. Catch you later. Maybe give us a thumbs up and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. And you know, if you want to see more radio repair work, certainly do subscribe, because I do radios, a fair amount of them, and many modifications like this thing, little projects and other ones, and these are other various modifications and repairs that I do. I should have said that. Anyway, it's late. I need to go to bed. Catch you later. Have a good one. Bye bye.